Very good morning to Dr. Ngô. My name is Zhang and my student ID is 24009490. So right now, let me demonstrating my coding. So first of all, when we run our the Python program, so it will show the login portal, admin, which is admin login, student login, and exit. So due to time constraint, I will just show my part. So for the student login, so we do have for student login, student need to key in their ID and their password. So we do have a name list for students to key in their ID and their password. So it's over here and it's saved in our text file. So if the student is other than this name, they are unable to enter our they are unable to access to these systems. So let me check on the timetable, and then student can do their enrollment to the classes, and then for networking, and then for the time, and then so the enrollment is successfully done. So the name is already been recorded, and I can display the timetable. So there are 10 subjects which are required inside which are the main requirement in our projects. So let me back to the main student menu. And then they also students also can do their attendance, check their attendance percentage and assignments. So log out and let me enter the admin login. So same as well with the students part. Admin also we do have a list for the admin part. So if the name of the admin is not inside the name list, they also cannot access and enter into our system. So for the admin part, I'm in charge on the doing a assignment. So let me and then for the networking part, so yeah, so over here it's already generated out and the whose students have already submitted their assignment and who haven't submitted lah. So I can log out and then exit. Okay, so let me enter to the PowerPoint slides part. So for the objectives, our objective is to develop a more efficiency resource management, to create a much more comprehensive projects, and to develop a more cost-effective systems and to streamline the whole operations of the system. So let us move to the flowchart. So the flowchart over here is not that clear, but I have already prepared a much more clear flowchart and I have already saved in the zip file. So let us move to a programming technique. So for the function part, so for function, we know that the function is actually a code which only runs when it is called. So later we call the functions by name and the function can return the data as a result. So we can see over here, when we define the function which is known as the enroll classes, so it will print out the enroll class and the subject, which is the load, the available of the subjects. So same with the admin assignment part. So we also define the functions and it will print out the load the available subjects. So for the following is the define the function which is the drop classes. So it will print out the drop classes in a new line and it will show out the enroll classes, which is load the classes that you have already enrolled. So if you does not enroll to any classes, so it will print out that you are currently not enrolled to any classes. So let us enter into the next part, which is the for loop. So for loop, we know that we can execute a set of statement, one for each item in the list. So over here, we know that the print enroll classes. So for I class name in enumerate. So what is enumerate? So enumerate helps to iterate over a list of keeping track of the position of each item inside the list. So in a much more simple way, by default, we know that enumeration often starts at 0, but by specifying at the start is equal to 1, so enumeration it will be going to start at 1. So this code is using enumeration to print out the number list of the enrollment of the classes, starting from 1 instead of starting from 0. So same with the admin assignment part. So they are finding for the available subjects. So it's actually same part as well. So the code is using enumerate to print out the number which for the list of the available subjects starting from 1 instead of starting from 0. So let's move to the if-else statement. So if-else statement, we know that it's involving one-way, two-way decision, and multi-way decision statements. So for the first picture, we are showing that the timetable menu part. So timetable menu part is involving the multi-way, while the enrollment class subject part is just involving the two-way decision statement, because two-way is just only using if-else and multi-way is using if, else, and the else statement. So for the while loop part, while loop evaluates the condition and execute a block of code repeatedly until a given Boolean condition evaluate to a false conditions. So if let's say if you key in the input the choices that are not inside the number over here, so it will just keep on showing the invalid choices and you have to reselect the choices again. So for the second part, the enrollment subject part, you are prompting for the subject selections. So while true choice equal to input, enter the subject of the subject you want to enroll, or you have to enter 0 to cancel. So actually above this code, we do have a selecting, let students to go and select the subject they want to enroll, like first equal to programming principles, second will be equivalent to computer maths, and so on. So students can choose what subject they want to enroll, and if they don't want to, if their choice is equivalent to 0, means they don't want to enroll to any subject, so you are going to print enrollment cancel. So OS module is actually quite new items, and our group members go online and find, and we add into our own code to make it much more interesting. The OS module in Python provides a way to interact with the operating system, and import OS allows us to use the functionality provided by OS module within the Python script, enable us to work with the files, directories, and other operating stacks. So basically, OS modules we can know as it's just like a toolbox, and when we import the OS values, we are bringing the toolbox into the program and use all these functions with files, directories, and other operating systems. So just for example, our trace is equivalent to 0, and we're going to drop class operation cancels. So when we're going to use the OS class members files equal to OS path joins, so what does it mean by OS path joins over here? So it's to check whether the following file is whether existing or not. So if it is existing, so OS path joins will the function will straight away go and locate and find where the file is located. And the OS path joins is also going to combine the multiple path, which is also the multiple folders into a single path. So else, if the class member folder, it doesn't exist inside the folder, inside the Python. So we are over here, we are going to use this OS make directories. So the function of the OS make directories is used to create a directories or is create a folders. So if the directories already exist, so basically OS make directories doesn't do anything. But if the folder does not exist, so OS make directories is going to create a new folder which is known as a class member inside the system. So our troubleshoot is testing and debugging is one of the problem that we face, the troubleshoot that we face, and fixing those unexpected errors. And then cross-platform compatibility is also one of the troubleshoot that we face, as everybody is doing their own code individually. So we need to put more extra effort to make sure all our codes are working fine and smooth. And then the third one is strict time constraint, as everybody is quite unfamiliar to the items and we are taking longer time than expected to address and solve all these problems. So I think that we should set up a realistic deadlines and clear expectation from the beginning. So at the end of the conclusion, the end of the project, we have successfully developed a useful tools and managed to experience object-oriented programming. And then we do have a chance to have a real-world application of skills by providing a practical application of technical skills, problem-solving abilities, and all the techniques. And the most important thing is we have notified the importance of the teamwork, as teamwork enhance the collaborative problem solvings, and we can among team members we can share our expertise, and then overall we can enhancing the overall team performance and certification. So that's all for me. Thank you.